Hello and welcome to All Top 5s. You may have seen my other video on mysterious underwater sounds recorded across the oceans. If not, why not go and have a watch of it? Just click here. But there are plenty more creepy noises from the depths, and I'm going to focus on another 5 in this video. Number 5. The Boeing. In the 1950s, off the coast of California and also Hawaii, the US Navy's submarines in the area detected a highly unusual noise. The sound was dubbed the Boeing, pertaining to its strange pattern. Here it is. Experts and professionals spent a lot of time scrutinizing the sound, but were mystified as to what possibly could have caused it. In fact, it wasn't until late 2002 that the Southwest Fisheries Science Center acoustics team detected where these Boeing sounds were coming from. It was from the open ocean near Hawaii. The team scrambled their boat to investigate, and marine mammal experts were able to track it and eventually identify the Boeing as a minke whale, putting the mystery to rest. It's amazing how long this went unidentified though. For over 60 years, the Boeing could have been anything down there in the ocean's depths. Number 4. Star Wars. Yes, another hilarious name, and it has a similar story to it as well. The Star Wars sound was recorded in the 1990s, detected in deep water by hydrophones off the Australian coast, and it baffled experts for years. And I think you can see why when you hear it. See what I mean? It's like a sci-fi mechanical sort of sound, nothing you'd expect to hear in the ocean. Perhaps outer space instead, firing lasers from a futuristic spacecraft. Now, it was thought for years to originate from a ship or a submarine of some kind, despite the Australian Navy saying that it had nothing to do with them. By 2001, experts had cracked it. They discovered that the Star Wars noise was produced by none other than dwarf minke whales, the smaller and rarer cousins of the Boeing-making minke whales. Not much is known about these dwarf whales even to this day, and the Star Wars sound has actually aided marine biologists in their study of the animal's behaviours and migration. Still though, what a strange sound that, understandably, confused those who discovered it at first. Number 3. Slow down. This sound is particularly mysterious as it hasn't been given a definitive explanation yet. Recorded in 1997 in the equatorial Pacific Ocean by an array of deep-sea hydrophones, the sound is a bellowing moan that would make Lovecraft shiver. Now that's at 16 times the original speed, of course, so we're able to actually perceive the sound. It's a creepy one though. It sounds a lot like an enormous sea creature emerging from its deep slumber in the watery abyss. Or maybe it's a huge iceberg running aground, as some scientists do believe. The vibration pattern is somewhat similar to that of other recorded icebergs moving, but it's as yet unconfirmed. Who knows what it could be? It'd have to be a pretty enormous iceberg to cause such a drawn-out sound to echo across the entire Pacific Ocean and reach the equator. But then again, it would have to be an enormous sea creature as well. What do you think? Number 2. Bioduck. In the 1960s, submarines out in the open ocean off the coast of Australia began to detect a particularly unusual sound. It was between 50 and 300 Hz and lasted for between 1.5 and 3 seconds, repeating throughout the day. It was nicknamed the bioduck noise because of, well, see what you think. It definitely has a quack-like quality to it, right? The submarines detected these sounds for years, and people put forward many hypotheses for them. However, it wasn't until 2014 that researchers believe they finally found the answer, and you'll never guess what they claimed it was. Yes, it's minke whales again. Antarctic minke whales to be precise. They tracked the noise to particular individuals who had tags on them, and were able to draw their conclusions based on that. It seems that the bioduck noise is made at the ocean's surface just before they dive deep underwater to feed. Quite why the Antarctic minke whale does this, no one is sure. Nor are they sure why it only occurs at certain times of the year, but scientists hope that tracking this now identified sound will bring them closer to understanding these elusive creatures. Number 1. Bloop. That's right, the bloop. Now many people questioned me leaving the bloop off my other video, and the reason is because I planned to include it as number 1 in this video instead. It's one of the most famous underwater noises ever recorded, and there's still a lot of debate to this day as to what it could be. It was recorded in 1997 by the NOAA as coming from a remote area in the South Pacific Ocean, and was detected several times by hydrophone arrays in the deep waters. Here it is. It doesn't sound particularly impressive, does it? Well, what makes this thing such a fascinating and possibly terrifying sound is the fact that it was such a low frequency and at an unprecedented volume. It was seriously loud, several times louder than the blue whale, the loudest known animal on the planet. Now don't forget that this is at 16 times speed as well, so we can hear it. The actual sound is pretty much undetectable by us, but I'll play it for you anyway. And here it is again at the 16 times speed, so we can hear it. That's why they speed it up then. So what is it? Well, no one knows for sure. Many people believe it to be gigantic ice shelves collapsing into the ocean, but many also believe it to be an enormous animal. Apparently, the bloop's sound signature is more similar to those of marine mammals than ice quakes. The only problem is that it was so loud it would likely represent something far larger even than a blue whale. A new species, perhaps? A monster living in the depths? Or is it a monumental ice shelf crashing into the sea? No one knows for sure, but the bloop is all the evidence we currently have of this gargantuan phenomenon. And that's it from all top 5s for this week. I love reading your comments, but just remember to be nice and considerate and polite. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and you can hit the subscribe button for weekly videos from me. So peace and love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you all next time on All Top 5s.